Greetings. How's everybody doing? I'm ready to go to the beach. I just figure I put this background on because I want to manifest this. I want to be able to go to the beach one weekend. So, this is just motivation for me. The weather's been really nice. It would be really nice just to I would even settle just getting out of the house, which I haven't really gotten out of the house lately. It's been sad. I know. It's really sad. In the midst of this financial crisis, you can't even, I mean, we're also fixing up our apartment as well. So, but it's just, money's kind of tight. I'm sure it's like kind of tight for a lot of people. So that's why we've been avoiding, you know, going out on a day trip. And that's something I really love to do, go out on a day trip, especially when the weather is warm like it has been. Really got to get out. It's important to get close to nature. It's very, very, very important to become one with nature. It's ground. It's very important. Anyhow, today what did I want to talk about? My topics today are, I wanted to do a reading on Pascal Najadi. Some of you have heard of him, may or may not have heard of him. He is a former Swiss banker, and he has like recently emerged from the scene onto the scene. He says that he works for Space Force or he's associated with Space Force. He is a veteran. Uh, he was in the Air Force, I guess in his younger years. He met I watched an interview that he did with Carrie Cassidy, and he said that he knew Klaus Schwab back in the day in the 80s or 70s or something, and his father had an association with him. Um, so I watched the Carrie Cassidy interview with him. It was kind of brutal. Uh, she did ask some good questions though. She did ask him some tough questions. Um, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of for me because I'm so sensitive to energy. It's kind of tough watching her interview people. I've watched her interview people before. I watched her interview Ishmael Perez, and that was like a really tough one to watch. I don't think I watched the whole thing because she was really digging into him, but her energy is just it's like so heavy. Um, I really pick up on that. Uh, so it's kind of like, I don't know, it has to be from like traumatic experiences. And believe me, I don't like to talk about other YouTubers. I'm not like that. I don't like to criticize other YouTubers. I don't like to say, well, good, this person's good, like I don't good or bad type of thing. I like to remain neutral. Um, I like to talk about the good people. Like if I get a good vibe off of somebody, I don't like to focus on somebody that I get a not so good vibe. Just I don't like to judge. Um, but yeah, I guess I sense like kind of like it might be from like like something trauma related. Everybody, nobody's perfect in this world. But I'm sure her intentions are good. But she did ask some really good questions, some tough questions. But as far as uh Mr. Najadi. He to me he was like a little bit kind of difficult to read. I mean, I feel like maybe his intentions were good. But I don't know. I mean, let's see what the cards have to say. The other topic, I wanted to discuss was the presence of Russia and Cuba. There have been a lot of fear mongering about that. Um, but let's see. I have some articles here on that. Let me share my screen and look for them. I don't know, I feel disorganized here. Uh, Share screen. Oh, there we go. Okay, so is this sharing? I think so. Oh yeah, it is sharing. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I got this from Reuters. Russian warships to arrive in Havana next week, but pose no threat in Cuba. Cuba says. Um, so basically, when I looked into it, with the pendulum, I got that the the military's there to drain the swamp. So that's basically it is the white hats that are present there. It's been they've been like the media has been making a big deal, like, oh, we're gonna have a nuclear, we're gonna have World War III, we're gonna have a nuclear war. I think they're just gonna use this to make it seem like it's gonna be part of the movie. I don't think there's gonna be an actual war because Mr. T is good friends with Putin, so I really don't think that that's going to happen, that there's going to be an actual war. I think it's just all part of the movie. It's part of it's an optics thing. It's totally not real. The other thing, what else did I want to show you? Okay, so and I wanted to talk about um the like the trial with Mr. T, and I went on Real Raw News. So all this stuff that's occurring with him is just really an effort to drain the swamp. I mean, as you can see, it says, I saw these articles here, fourth charlatan juror arrested by JAG on Long Island. So they're arresting the jurors. That's what they're doing. White hats arrest 3 of the 12 deep state jurors who unlawfully found President Trump guilty. Okay, so that's what's happening with this trial. They're just pretty much draining the swamp behind the scenes. That's what it seems like. Um, and then I was watching David Nino Perez. I mean, I'm sorry, not David Nino Perez. I just combined David Nino Rodriguez's name with Ishmael Perez's name. Okay. David Nino Rodriguez, he had 107 on a show, and they were talking, and he said that what's happening in New York City with Mr. T's trial is that it's not going to be an appeal, or it's different from a mistrial. There's going to be a new trial. So that would make sense if they arrested a bunch of jurors from the previous one. and probably the judge, they're going to need to have a new trial and they're going to need to have new jurors. So it would make sense. And he said they're doing this because of they have certain rules in New York. But again, it's probably to drain the swamp again. And then the other thing I wanted to cover was, oh, and so with the Trump trial, I remember I got the devil, and then I also got the chariot after that. So the devil, yeah, I mean that totally makes sense because that's the deep state. That's representing the deep state. So it would make sense if they are draining the swamp, that I would have gotten that card. And then, also the military stepping in and arresting, the jurors that were probably paid or threatens, to do the illegal activity, by finding him guilty. So that would make sense. The other topic I wanted to cover was also this. I want to show you. Oh, shoot, I didn't pull that up. Oh, I don't have that pulled up. Oh, crap. Let me see. It was these articles that I found about free money. Like this one. Okay, this is like the third article that I found. Okay. It says some Americans will get 500 monthly payments. Here's who qualifies. And this is in California. Some California residents will start earning 500 a month payments this summer as the state begins its Advancing Fresno County Guaranteed Income Program. So this is Fresno County, California. If you live in Southwest Fresno, the income limit was at 30,615, while those living in Huron needed to make 35,103 or less to qualify. In these counties, more than 30% of residents live below the poverty line, said Michael Ryan, a finance expert and founder of michaelryanmoney.com. Maybe I should go to that website. Okay, that was one of the articles, and there was another one. If I would have to go back here. It was another one. It was the Sun Times, I remember. Let me see. Okay. This is one of them. How to receive checks for RX kids, Flint residents who were pregnant or had a baby, or this is the US Sun. That's, yeah, the US Sun. I'm not familiar with that newspaper or magazine or whatever it is. Pregnant or had a baby born as of January 1st, 2024 can complete an application online to start receiving payments. The program is run by local pediatrician Mona Hannah Atisha. Prescription Kids is a public-private partnership that is estimated to cost $55 million for 5 years of newborns. Over 43 million have been raised to help moms and their babies live more stable and healthier lives. Okay, that's really, I've never seen anything like that. That's really weird. This is stimulus check, also the US Sun. Big money stimulus check update 2024. Americans to receive payments worth up to 50,000 this summer must meet 3 criteria. Is there another one? Okay, no, that's the other one. Payments. I think that's yeah, that's the same one. And then it says, oh, this is like for Native American Community Group, stimulus check update. Americans set to receive payments worth of 50,000 this summer must meet three criteria. But it's like for Native Americans, in Minnesota, North Dakota, and South Dakota. And then it says, I didn't see the whole thing. It says Native Americans who trace their roots to any indigenous group from the US, Canada, or Mexico also qualified. Okay, and I just like I saw that and I totally, yeah, this is the one I sent Caroline. I just totally thought, I just like dismissed it. But now it's the third time that I have seen this with these payments, this free money as I call it. I really want to do a read on that because I'm wondering, is this the start of Nasara Jasara? Like they're finding excuses to give out money. I mean, I have indigenous roots from Mexico. Am I qualified? Like down the line. So yeah, it's would be interesting to see, like, is this BS or is this the start of something? Okay, so I think that's it. I don't have anything else. I don't have anything else to share here. So let me stop sharing. Okay. So I wanted to read let's do the reading on I guess on Pascal. Okay, what do we need to know about oops. Okay. Trying to concentrate, get comfortable in my seat. What do we need to know about Pascal Najadi? What do we need to know about Pascal Najadi? Is he good or bad? Is he with the white hats? I don't know, he could be just, an eccentric millionaire or something. I like to give people the benefit, oops, of the doubt. All right, so I got 3 of wands and I got 9 of wands. So he's kind of like looking from a distance. He's safe, but at the same time, it's like there's like a tired feeling, kind of like standing on his last leg. Um, he's been what's the word? Criticized. Um he's been he's kind of tired. I don't know, like he's kind of it seems like he's kind of tired of this war. He's tired of the battle. And he's wearing his, heart on his sleeve. But let's see. What else does the universe want to say about him? I'm not really getting anything negative. I'm really getting that he's like, I got the Six of Swords, but I'm also getting like he had to taking on responsibilities and moving out of troubled waters and really working hard in his past to better himself and maybe even get out of like certain dangerous situations. And then I got Judgment, which makes sense because, right now the world is judging him. And, especially, people on social media, they're probably judging him and trying to figure out, like, hey, is this guy, is this guy like a kook or, but there's also an awakening. Um, I'm also seeing like a spiritual awakening as well. This can be a spiritual card. Hey, this kind of looks like the Swiss flag too. Um, yeah, so yeah, I'm getting a spiritual awakening. And whether he's good or he's bad, he is part of this movement. So, if there this is this pertains to anybody. If there are things that you can relate to that somebody says, great. If you can't relate to it, then just push it aside. Use your discernment, just leave the rest. Whatever you can connect with, whatever um, you can relate to in your current life, take it in. And if you can't relate to it, just leave it aside. If it doesn't resonate with you, take what resonates with you and leave the rest. But whether somebody is good or bad and they're expressing themselves, they are still part of this movement. And it's up to you to discern. There is positive and negative in everybody. And then again, let's see, this is the future, the near future, which is 10 of Wands. this is like a struggle, this is like he's taking on a lot. There's a lot on his shoulders. You may even see him, I don't know why, but I'm getting this, like you may even see him disappear for a while. I'm not sure where he's gonna go. You may even see him disappear and then come back. Okay. I definitely see children. I see children. But since this is not poorly aspected, like he could be helping children, but I don't see this poorly aspected. Yeah, I don't have, and I got strength and Knight of Pentacles, so this actually has to do with military. So I really don't see any bad cards associated with him. Um, and so let's look at the presence of Russia. I'm sorry, yeah, the Russia in Cuba. Let's look at that. I just want to look around at that. What do we need to know about the Russian ships in Cuba? What do we need to know? Ooh, I'm getting some beautiful cards. Okay, so it's not just Russian ships in Cuba. I actually got an image of the of ships in the air with like the Galactic Federation, cloaked ships in the air. This is a this is a world event. Um, and there aren't any, it's positive. And I have temperance as the outcome. So this is pretty positive, and it's a 5. So it's represents growth and then change. So there's going to be change in Cuba. This event marks change in Cuba and healing. Like, this is very, since these are major arcana cards. So this is going to be big changes in Cuba. And they are actually helping they're actually helping the Cubans. Um, change for better policies. And this is also a 5. So it's again growth and change. And there was an agreement. This was an agreement. An ending. It's marking some kind of ending as well to help the people of Cuba, the community. Again, another major arcana card. It's very interesting. A transformation, military. So this is definitely good. Even though it looks like, sorrow, I guess because this is the present, so people right now are not people in Cuba are not happy. Um, but it looks like for the future, probably near future, things are gonna start changing. All right, so the last question is, oh, and also, um, the magician. What pops out for me is the tools. Like they will have the tools that they need. They're going to be given the tools or the resources, things that they need. And then now the last thing is regarding the free money, as I call it. Okay, so what does the universe want to tell us about the money? Like, is this for real? You know, is this fake news? Like, what do we need to know about this? Okay, so what do we need to know? Is this a scam? Or is this QFS, the start of the Sara Jasara? Ooh. All right. I'm gonna have to do this again because I'm a little confused. I'm confused by this. All right, so first let me just ask a clear question here. All right, so is this the article, some Americans will get $500 monthly payments, here who qualifies. Okay. So is this a scam? Sometimes when you read cards, you don't get a clear answer. So you just have to ask again more clearly because I asked too many questions. The cards are not saying that it is a scam because You have we have five of pentacles, and this does look like people who are like poor people, low income people. And this is for families. This looks like it's for families. And this is a judgment card. So, they could be making the decisions of who will receive the payments, probably looking at everybody's income to see who is considered low income, maybe families that are getting public assistance like food stamps, that are in Medicaid, things like that, because it would make sense for those people to receive Nasara Jasara first rather than like people that are middle class or a little bit above middle class. I mean, if you think about it, what countries are part of BRICS? You have India, Russia, I can't remember now, Brazil. I mean, those countries, maybe not Russia. I don't know the economy in Russia. I guess it's good. I don't know, but for sure, like Brazil and India, I mean, they're not known to have the best economies. So you're going to help the poor. Oh, South Africa. Yeah, that was the other country. So you're going to help the poor people first. It only makes sense. And, these are the poor people. And then I also got two of wands. This is represents the question. So they're kind of looking at the population to see, who will benefit from this the most. So I'm not really seeing that it is a scam. Um, and Knight of Swords, this is the future. It's the near future. So I think that they're going to, and this is a quick moving card. So I think this is saying that they are going to more and more, they're going to get the word out. And I have to say something in my own experience. I am receiving assistance, public assistance, and I haven't paid an electric bill in like 3 months. And they keep sending me things, well, letters in the mail that say I have credit. Like every month I have credit. It's really weird. And they also sent something else, like another card, to buy food. So I don't know, maybe this is all part of Nasara Jasara. It's the beginning of Nasara Jasara. It could very well be. I don't know, I think everyone should keep an eye out for things like this. You know, be aware, be observant. All right, well, that's all I have for today. And I wish everybody love and light. And thank you so much for watching. I don't have a lot of subscribers, which that's fine, but if you happen to watch my video and you like my content, please subscribe, comment. I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear what your experiences are. Um, share. Thank you so much. Love and light.